everybody, my name is Henrix. I'm from Miami. Tonight I'm playing Webster Hall. It's my first time headlining Webster Hall, so I'm pretty excited about that. It's last time I was here was about a month ago with Hardwell, Dyro, and Audion. We played Governor's Island, so happy to be back. I think I started DJing was about 6 years ago, and I used to do the underground scene, the whole after hours, DJing for like 6 hours, going till 10 o'clock in the morning type of thing, partying hard. And then later on, I started producing about a year or two after, so I've been producing about 4 to 5 years. Then at one point, I kind of just stopped the whole DJing thing for a while, just because I know that you're gonna go somewhere in this business that has to be producing. So I gave the whole DJing thing a break so I can focus a lot on my producing thing, and I was just day and night, nonstop. Sleeping 4 hours a night, having a full-time job, and then coming straight after the job to work on music, so that was it. I think it's a little different, both of them. It really depends, honestly. Sometimes the studio, you can have one of those off days, and not sometimes, a lot of times you can have an off day, and then you're just gonna get stuck, this block, and then you're just frustrated, and sometimes that block is there for a week of, 2 weeks sometimes, it really depends until you break it. The studio I'm very comfortable in there, but the DJ thing is more of an environment where, the crowd is with you, so it's always going to be, fun. Well, most of the time at least, So I want to say they're both different things, so I can't really say which one I'm more comfortable in. They each have their perks. Ibiza 2 weeks ago was pretty fun with Laidback Luke and Hardwell. That was my first time there. It was the opening of Amnesia. I really had fun at Governor's Island here, and that was one of my favorite shows. The energy there was just insane. I really like the Exchange LA, which is sick. I'm going back there for Super Year and Me with Laidback Luke. New City Gas, Montreal was awesome. Crowd was insane. So there's a bunch of places. And there's so many places that I still haven't gone to yet. So I don't want to pinpoint just one. The energy here is insane. Man, like the energy when I played Governor's Island was just, wow. I was just very, so shocked. I didn't know it was going to be that crazy, even that early on in the day. I honestly thought since, it was going to get really crazy after everyone was kind of just messed up out of their mind and Hardwell got on. But no, it was insane. It was sick. And you guys have a lot of energy here. I think the one that's helping the most is probably Laidback Luke. He still does. To me, he's become kind of like a mentor type of thing. He's helped me, I've released a lot of tracks on his label. Steve as well, we really hit it on there. I'm releasing Jumanji on there. Tiesto has helped me, playing a lot of my songs on his radio show. So I think, and each one has their own thing that they've done, for my career. And I'm hoping, still gonna have a lot more. I have to get a feel of what I want to do. If I want to make a progressive track, if I want to make a hard drop track, I normally start with a melody. But honestly, you can start with a feel, but in the end, it just completely changes. You're going like, I'm going to go a progressive track, and then out of nowhere, it just drops, and it's just like a hard drop. And so I think the creative process is just, you get in there and I start off with a melody, and then from the melody, you take it from there and what you want to do. If you want to go hard, or you want to go, progressive or soft or something different. It really depends. It's so simple because you have these USBs nowadays. You just plug it in and it's there for you. You have the name, has everything. So I play with about from 3 to 4 CDJs. 4 is very rare occasion. It really depends if I want to loop drums and stuff. But the 3 is normally for acapellas. I do live stuff. It can work with 2 sometimes, but it's a little harder because when you're trying to mix 2 tracks and an acapella together, I've done it before, but I like to do a minimum 3. I want them to leave there with, with the wow reaction, of course, like every other DJ. But I don't plan my sets. That's one thing that a lot of people ask me. I don't go in there and say, I'm going to play this, I'm going to play that. It doesn't work with me. Like I said, I grew up as a DJ before I was a producer, so I like to feel out crowds. I've been playing in places that's more intimate, and I try to drop a festival track, and people are just kind of like, all right, this is not the thing for this. So then I have to go back and do a little bit groovier. You have to know how to, wherever you're playing, adapt to that situation. Because it's not always going to be the same. Not everywhere is going to be festival. But yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, like I said, I started off as an after-hours DJ, building my sets, for 4 hours and this and that. And even when I started DJing by myself in my room, I would literally spend 8 hours there, and I imagine myself at Space in Miami, you know what I mean? And how to build a set from going from, I actually did a set on a radio station in Miami, a live radio station that I did 5 hours straight. And I went from electro to progressive. Progressive, I did old school trance. I then built trance, I went to tech, I then ended with like a, you know, deeper type of thing. So it's just a journey of music. I guess you try to do something different from everybody. You sometimes fall in the situation where, you know, the crowd wants something, and I don't blame anybody for playing what the crowd wants, you know. My sets itself, if you listen to my sets, I try to play a lot of my own songs, so people are like, what song is this? Or unreleased songs. I think once it goes on Beatport, I'm not saying that you shouldn't play, because I play a lot of Beatport stuff too, but I think you should play less of it, because now you don't keep the crowd interested in it. Actually, you may keep them interested. I mean, that's what they want. But if you give them something what they don't want, I mean, what they haven't heard, then they're gonna say like, "Whoa, what's this?" Right? And like, what I like to do is sometimes, if a track is an instrumental and no one's heard it, it can get a little boring for somebody because they don't know what the track is, so they can't hum along to it. They can't, you know, oh my God, I know this song. So what I'll do is I'll put an acapella to it, you know, that people know it. So like, okay, I can vibe to this. Right? So then you go to producing. You know, you get stuck into this thing where, you know, what's hot right now, and I do it, you know, everybody does it, but you have to try to say, what's next? You have to think 10 steps ahead. I mean, what's next? And that's the hard part. That's the extremely hard part, because it's easy to sit there and say, hey, I'm gonna make a track like this guy did, and then you can go in like the top 10. But at the end of the day, people are just gonna say, yeah, this track is the same thing as this track. Why, you know, why did Hit It become so popular? It's the same style as like the Epic and Adam, but it's so different as far as, to me, it was a journey of the music. It's progressive, the very slow progressive melody. The build wasn't even all that crazy, it just slowly builds, and then 1, 2, 3 hit it, and just drops the percussion with the big kick, and that was it. And then it changes into a Dutch thing. So yeah, you have to kind of, you know, try to reimagine, like you said. I mean, try to do things differently to keep the crowd going. We have a lot of things coming up. As far as shows, we have the main stage in Electric Zoo, which I can't wait. Coming back to New York, of course, and seeing from the crowd. And tonight, Webster Hall, I can't imagine that. I heard it's just insane. So I can imagine how Electric Zoo is. Have that. We have Tomorrow World, which is going to be crazy too. And I'm playing this next week. No, 2 weeks from now. I'm doing the first Life in Color in Mexico. The first two. So I'm doing Monterey and Mexico City. So that's going to be pretty crazy. And then plenty of shows coming up. Just thought we can't mention it yet, but you know, it's a lot of shows. And then we have the production, which I have so many tracks right now that I'm kind of picking and choosing. I have literally more than a handful of tracks that and I'm also testing them out on the road. So, you know, and they're doing pretty well. The reaction. Jumanji's coming up on the 8th. So yeah, that's gonna be on Size. Life. For me, it's life. I used to say that when I was younger. Music is life for me. I know that's probably a phrase that people use a lot. That was kind of my slogan when I first started. Like, music's life. I've given up everything for music. Relationships. I don't want to say family, because family's my number one. But you know, I've isolated myself to studio nonstop, to the point that when I was living with my parents, it was kind of like, why don't you ever get out of the room? My parents thought I was doing drugs in my room. Yeah, at one point my mom thought I was like on drugs. She's like, what the hell, how do you stay up until 8, 9 o'clock in the morning making music? And I'm just like, to me, it's just, when you're there and you're so focused, the time just flies. So now it wasn't the drugs, it was more of like, I gave up a lot of things. And you know, I was very big playing basketball before, because I used to play a lot of basketball when I was younger. I stopped all that. You know, gym rat, I was like that. I was always going to the gym, and I stopped everything for music, you know, and music became my life. It was literally became my life. And I told myself when I first started, this is gonna be what I want to do for the rest of my life. And I had doubters. One thing that I'll never forget, and I've always said this, is a friend of mine, he started DJing with me at the same time. About a month after he got his seat, you know, his decks and this and that. And I started taking it serious, and he goes, why are you taking it so serious? I took this for all of my career. I always remember this. He goes, why are you taking it so serious? He says, I read an article that it's harder to make it in the dance music scene right now than to make it in the major leagues. He said that, and I said, all right, I'm gonna prove you wrong. And I proved him wrong. To this day, he actually, you know, still got a long way to go, but you know, to this day he tells me about that. He's like, remember when I told you that to stop. He's like, I'm glad you didn't. What's up, guys? My name is Henrix. I run the night. Do you?